I'm Corey Matthews. I'm doing my Clemson Connect vlog for our new student dialogues. I had to attend the heterosexual norms in a not totally heterosexual world, and the dialogue in the class itself was actually pretty interesting, and I learned a lot from it. There were a lot of people in the group that were opinionated and didn't mind sharing circumstances about their experience with homosexuals or anything like that. And a lot of people in the group actually had friends that were homosexuals or family members that were, and they didn't mind sharing experiences or personal feelings on the topic. And I felt that was pretty interesting because where I'm from, we don't have a lot of homosexuality or anything like that, so it was cool to see different opinions on the topic from people who actually have witnessed that kind of thing, and live with it. There were other people that seemed to be more reserved, maybe scared to talk about the topic, probably due to personal reasons, but I actually contributed a lot to our discussion. Usually topics of religion and homosexual effects on society and things like your job and family, that kind of thing. I felt pretty openly to discuss how I see things and whatnot, because I don't personally endorse homosexuality, but I'm not going to criticize you if you are. That's just the way I was raised. But it was really interesting to get varying viewpoints on the topic and hear other people's opinions on the subject, maybe things, like why people are that way or how it affects not only the individual but other people surrounding them, family members or children, and how it affects real world situations like your job or even just, going outside. But the dialogue itself was really interesting. We actually had really good communication. No one was arguing or fighting, trying to get a point across. Everyone was real respectful and waited their turn to speak, and most people were very quiet when someone was sharing an opinion and seemed to be truly listening to them. And it was very nice to see a decent conversation being held about such a controversial topic. And I felt the dialogue itself contributed or will contribute a lot to my time at Clemson, strictly because of the conversation factor, that you don't have to get defensive or even offensive on any type of conversation. No matter how controversial, you can go about it in a respectful manner where all sides get heard and that points get across very well. But we had some interesting techniques and interesting assignments to do in the class, such as a social wheel, where we listed things and aspects of our life, such as religion and family, and rated them as important, rated them from their importance from 1 to 10. It was pretty interesting to see how different people felt about different things, and even how regions affect certain aspects of what's important and what's not. We did this project a scenario where everybody was a homosexual, and we listed things that were important, like your favorite family member and your dream job and things like that. And the scenario just so happened to be that when you came out, you would lose certain things, such as your family would disown you, or you would get fired from your job and lose your dream job. And a lot of people had vast reactions to that. And some people in the scenario, they ended up committing suicide. Some people lost nothing. Some people lost it all. And it kind of hit home because I didn't really think about all that before, how real and how painful people can be to others just because they don't have the same choices and same lifestyle. So it was pretty interesting to see how that affects other people's lives, just maybe how you act. And just because they're not the same as you doesn't mean that they're really all that different, and that you should still be nice and respectful to everybody, no matter what their background or their taste or anything like that. But I felt overall it was a good class, and that we did a good job discussing the topic successfully, and not, just getting a full-blown argument, and that I learned a lot from it, got a lot from it, and I feel that it'll help me a lot through my time at Clemson.